Hey everyone, so if your job involves preserving history, managing critical records, or really archiving anything important, you're going to want to listen up. A technology that's been a cornerstone of this work for, well, decades is about to just disappear. And that's creating both a huge crisis and, believe it or not, a massive opportunity. Let's get into it.
Okay, I want you to circle this date in your calendar, December 26, 2025. This isn't just the day after Christmas, it's the final, absolute factory cutoff for all Fujifilm Microfilm products. After this date, a technology that has been the very backbone of archival preservation is officially done. Production stops, and that creates a really urgent deadline for thousands of organizations all over the world.
And this timeline here really tells the story, because the ripple effects are going to start way before that final cutoff. By the middle of 2026, you can expect some serious supply shortages. Then, as that leftover stock starts to run out in late 2026, you know what happens next? Prices get unstable, they'll probably skyrocket. And by 2027, well, any organization that hasn't made a switch is looking at a very, very real risk of their entire operation just stopping.
So that brings us to our first section, a legacy ends. Let's talk about what Fujifilm's decision to leave the market really means. I mean, they're pivoting away from their traditional film tech, and that ends decades of being a major player. But more importantly, it leaves this huge gaping hole in the market for these critical archival materials.
And we're not just talking about one or two obscure products here. This is the core of the toolkit. Your 16 and 35 millimeter microfilm rolls, specialized negative film, and even the processing chemicals you need to develop them. For so many, these aren't just supplies. They are absolutely fundamental to how they work every single day.
So, who does this actually affect? Is this just a problem for a handful of specialists? Oh, not even close.
Just look at the sheer scope of this. We're talking about national libraries trying to preserve priceless historical documents, government agencies managing mountains of federal records, hospitals that need to archive critical patient files for decades. You've got financial institutions, corporate archives. Basically, if your industry relies on long-term, super secure document preservation, you're facing this challenge head-on.
Which brings us to our next section, the archival crisis. Let's lay out the risks of just doing nothing in this new post-Fujifilm world. Because in this new landscape, a wait-and-see approach, that's just not going to work. Doing nothing carries some very specific, very real dangers.
So what are we talking about? Well, first, you're going to see severe, unavoidable supply shortages. That's a given. Then comes the inflated, almost predatory pricing from third-party sellers who are hoarding the last of the stock. That leads directly to you not being able to keep up with your archival schedules, and ultimately, it could bring your entire preservation workflow to a grinding, complete halt.
Okay, but here's where this story takes a turn. This massive challenge is also a massive opportunity. An opportunity to move away from a legacy product and towards something far superior. So let's look at what this new standard looks like, starting with a company called Micrographics Data.
Now, before we go any further, you need to know this term, LE 500 rated. It's a certification, and it's a big deal. It essentially guarantees that the media has a life expectancy of 500 years. Think about that. It's the absolute gold standard for long-term preservation, and it's a huge piece of this puzzle.
So let's just put it side by side. On one hand, you've got the old standard. It's discontinued, the supply's uncertain, and the quality is, well, it's standard. On the other hand, you have a new benchmark. They're still making it, the global supply is reliable, and as we're about to see, the performance is just demonstrably, significantly better.
All right, time for the fun stuff. Let's get into the proof in the pixels. This is where we break down that superior performance claim, because talk is one thing, but the hard data is what really shows why this isn't just a replacement, it's a genuine upgrade.
I want you to remember this number, 850 lines per millimeter. This is the metric for image resolution in microfilm. The higher this number is, the sharper, the clearer, the more detailed the image you capture. And 850, frankly, that number is an absolute game changer.
And this chart says it all, doesn't it? Fujifilm's film, which was highly respected by the way, their Super HR film came in around 280 lines per millimeter. Micrographics Data delivers 850. That's not just a little bit better. We are talking about a threefold improvement in image quality and the level of detail you can capture. It's like going from standard definition to 8K.
And this table gives us the whole story. You know, beyond that incredible 3x resolution, just look at the other specs. An amazing 1 to 1,000 contrast ratio, an ultra-fine grain structure for clarity, a more durable base material, and of course that LE500 archival rating we just talked about. I mean, across the board, this is a massive leap forward.
And look, these numbers translate into incredible real-world results. Dr. Sarah Chen from a state university library system said they were capturing details on historical documents that they had never seen before. That's what that resolution upgrade actually means in practice.
Or think about healthcare, where clarity is absolutely non-negotiable. Records manager Michael Rodriguez points to that incredible contrast ratio, making medical images clearer than they've ever been. And notice that he also says zero processing issues, which, if you're in this business, you know is a huge deal for keeping things running smoothly.
And here, from a federal agency where security and reliability are everything, a senior archivist praises the LE500 rating and that durable material. But just as important, look at what else they highlight: the dependability of the supply chain, which, of course, is the whole reason we're having this conversation.
Okay, so the case for upgrading is pretty clear. But you might be thinking, how do we actually do this? The good news is, it's not some chaotic scramble. There's a structured, manageable plan you can follow to upgrade your entire process. And here's what that roadmap could look like. It's really straightforward. First couple of weeks, you just assess what you have and what you'll need. Then you move into testing. Get some samples. See the quality for yourself. Weeks 5 and 6 are for procurement, setting up your new supply agreement. And from week 7 on, you can start a full, seamless transition, feeling confident in your new upgraded workflow.
So, let's wrap this all up. The future really is clearer. It's time to reframe this whole situation. The end of Film Fusion's production isn't just a hurdle you have to get over. It's a genuine chance to evolve and improve the very standard of how we do archival preservation.
By acting now, you're not just dodging a crisis. You are actively choosing to lock in that superior 850 lines per millimeter performance. You're guaranteeing your supply chain, you're securing stable pricing, and you're getting the peace of mind that comes with an LE500 rating and a more durable film. You're literally upgrading your entire operation from the ground up. Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about here isn't just a simple one-for-one swap. This is a chance to be part of a revolution in archival quality, setting a new, much higher bar for how we preserve our shared history for centuries to come.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When a core technology like this becomes obsolete, is the biggest risk really just failing to find a replacement in time, or is the bigger risk failing to seize the opportunity to upgrade to something far, far better?